Hello, welcome guys. Thank you for being so patient. YouTube has been a bit of a bitch just then. So, thank you so much for joining me. There's so many of you here. I'm sure more will join us. My name's Charlotte, for those of you that don't already know. And I'm coming to you today to demonstrate the twin flame connection check, which basically, I'll tell you a little bit more about that in a minute actually. Before I start, I'm not going to create a list tonight because last time we did this, it was really challenging to keep track of the list and to get all the information I needed from the relevant twins at the right time. So what I'm going to do today is explain a little bit about how this works at the beginning, answer any questions you've got. And then once we get started and I start the live demos, I'm going to ask whoever wants to check just to comment, and I will allow my guides to choose the person who is most in need at that time. I would ask you all respectfully, please, when I am working, I have my eyes closed, so I can't read the comments at that point anyway, and to give the viewer who I'm reading for a bit of space to kind of comment and feedback, just withhold the please pick me request. You can still chat because you know, you might want to chat about what's happening, and that's fine. And I know it's fairly fast paced anyway, but if you can just slow down with the pick me requests while I'm actually working with my eyes shut, because I can't see you anyway, so it's kind of futile. We've got two moderators today with us. That's Made for Love and Mary. So if you've got any questions and I've got my eyes shut, they will definitely be able to help you. They both know how I work. There's also a lot of information in the description box below. So let's get started. So what is a twin flame connection check? I'm sure you're all really curious. I'm actually a spirit release therapist, and when I was, so just to explain what spirit release therapy is first. So spirit release therapy is like a clinical version of a shamanistic practice called soul retrieval, and I connect mediumistically to a person's energy. And this allows me to review their energetic well-being, their physical well-being, basically to clear anything that doesn't serve them. So that would include negative entities, you know, just anything negative, dark, that was in or around the outer or inner etheric field that shouldn't be there. Now, with twin flames, this is particularly important. For those of you who don't know, if you're in a twin flame connection, you shine a lot of light. Your purpose is to be a light worker. So SRT is particularly important for twins, but while I was doing this work on a twin, I was actually shown a twin flame connection. And ever since then, I've been practicing with two of my colleagues to kind of understand what it was that I was seeing. And, you know, as we've developed this service and continue with our research, I mean, we're finding out new things all the time, but I've developed this kind of mini check, which I just think is tremendously useful. I know a lot of you, you know, probably realize that you are in a twin flame connection, but sometimes you need that validated. And also it's useful to get the mini clearing and, you know, everything that goes with it. So a twin flame connection check basically involves me connecting as a medium to your energetic field and that of your twin to review the connection between you. Now, when I do this work, what I do first is check your sovereignty. And sovereignty refers to your energetic health, your spiritual health. So if you're sovereign, you are clear of anything negative, you have no interference, all that kind of stuff, no attachments. So I will check your sovereignty and then I will clear each twin. I only do a mini clearing during this check. A full SRT clearing requires two people, so I work with a facilitator. It's quite dark and risky work. It's deep trance work, so working with a facilitator means that I stay on track. I have my eyes closed, so they will make sure I follow protocol, take notes and so forth. So with this type of work, with the twin flame connection check specifically, I'm working independently. I usually work face-to-face with the client, but I can do it like this from a name. And I will just be doing a mini clearing. And that involves checking first and foremost your sovereignty, your grounding, which is tremendously important for twins. Humans have 11 chakras in their energetic field, but the 12th chakra is actually in the earth. And you have to be connected to that. So for those of you joining us today, if you haven't grounded and protected already, please do that now. You know, it takes 30 seconds. If you're not sure how to do that, just have a quick Google online so you can see. It's basically just visualizing your roots going down, connecting to the earth center, and then drawing the light back up so that it bursts out through your crown. But if you haven't done that yet, please do that, because it's very important that we do this work from a protected space. So as well as checking your grounding and replacing that if it isn't robust, I will also check your chakras and your twins. And this reveals a fair amount of information about you as individuals. I also check your auras just to make sure that they're in good shape and your protection is in place. And then I will look at the connecting energy between the twins. Now, I'm able to see from doing this roughly what stage you are at in your journey, how much healing you've done, and also how the energy is flowing in the connection and what blockages are apparent and need to be addressed. I will also ask my guides for some advice. So this isn't like a tarot reading where I'm going to, you know, tell you detail about your individual journey in terms of, you know, he feels this or this happened. And, you know, this is an energetic check to look at how you are in terms of spiritual health as individuals and what the energies are between you, and obviously to give you that mini clearing. Now, the feedback we've had has been amazing. If there's anyone here that's had one of these, please do feel free to comment and let us know your experience. But for the majority of clients that I've done this work with so far, the feedback has been absolutely tremendous, with a lot of increased activity in their connections. Now, this is an SRT work. I really must stress that. SRT, as I said, is a much more detailed practice. It requires a facilitator. So if I'm finding that you are not sovereign when I do this check, and for some reason I can't clear what's there in a mini clearing, I will have to pass on you and refer you, because I can't work on you when you're energetically kind of compromised. So it's fairly unusual for there to be anything so serious that I can't get rid of it in a mini clearing. But if that's the case, I will let you know. Now, if you're not dealing with a real twin, I can see the difference. A real twin looks very different to a false twin. So I will be able to tell you if it's a real twin. I think that's the main purpose of this connection check. And that's what everyone wants to know. But if you're not dealing with a real twin, I will do the mini clearing anyway for you as an individual and give you whatever feedback I'm getting from my guides. I think the other thing that I wanted to mention as well was, you know, if you're not dealing with a real twin, chances are, if you're on this journey, if you've met a false twin, then you're going to meet your real twin. So don't be too disheartened if, you know, you're chosen and you find that you're not dealing with a real twin. If anything, I always thought it might actually be a really positive benefit to understand this journey before you met your twin, because you have an opportunity to get really prepared. You have an opportunity to do a lot of healing work, which is really brilliant. Right, I'm just checking from my notes if I've missed anything. I don't think I have. Are we all good to go? I think we are. Okay, so before I start, has anybody got any questions? I'm going to look at the comments. My eyes are open, so if you want to know something, ask me now. Let's have a look, see. Anyone got anything to say? No? Hey, Bridget, nice to see you. Okay. Right, so I'm going to pick someone. As I said, I work with guides, and I want to be really clear in that the work I'm doing today, I'm just a channel. I'm not actually doing this work. I'm just a medium. I am shown this connection by my guides, and they actually do all the work. They do all the clearing. They give me all of the information. I'm just a channel, and I just share it with you. So the real stars of the show are my guides that are working with me today, which is John and Amos. I know a lot of you know Arthur from me mentioning him on my channel, but Arthur is just a tarot guide. He doesn't work with me in SRT or any of this kind of mediumship or energetic work. So I'm actually working with John and Amos, and if I have messages for you, it's coming from them, not from me. Right, so I'm going to make a start now. When I choose you, I need to know your twin's name or the person that you think is your twin. So please, now is the time to say pick me. Just say pick me, my name is, and my twin's name is. First names on their own are fine. Let's have a look, see who our guide is drawn to. So don't just say pick me, you need to give me your name, you need to give me your twin's name in the same comment. Let's look, wow, that's going so fast. Wow. Okay. Nicole and Noah. Okay, we've got Nicole and Noah. So I have my eyes closed to this work, so I can't see what it's saying now. Okay, Nicole, so Noah is a real twin. He definitely is a real twin. He's not aligned with this connection though. I'm just going to realign him. He's kind of drifting. Right, so before I proceed, I'm going to do a mini clearing for you. So starting with you, Nicole, your grounding is partial. It's not very robust. You need to really focus on grounding when you're in meditation and make sure that your roots are going all the way deep, deep down to the center of the earth. This is so important. I'm going to put your grounding back in place now. We'll look at your chakras. So your crown is open and clear, third eye is clear, throat is very blocked, heart space fairly clear, solar's blocked, sacral's blocked. And there's a tremendous amount of anxiety here. You've got a very blocked root chakra and you are not expressing yourself, which is why we have this blockage in the throat. Now, your aura, has a massive hole in it, right near the top. So when you're grounding and protecting, please reinforce your own protection by imagining a shield around your aura. This has been caused by substance abuse, and I'm guided to say specifically prescription drugs. Your inner etheric body is very dark. So there's a lot of tension across the shoulders and chest. Again, this is related to the anxiety. I'm also getting a lot of heaviness in and around the lower abdomen or womb area. So that's all cleared now. Okay, let's have a look at Noah. So Noah is also ungrounded. I'm going to ground him now. When you ground yourself, Nicole, you can ground Noah at the same time. You can do that for him, and that is advised. So Noah is very blocked spiritually. His crown chakra was actually clamped, which means there's some kind of interference there. He's not sovereign, so bear with me if we can clear that. Okay, so he's clear. He has a very, very big third eye. This man is very naturally clairvoyant, though he may not have acknowledged these gifts yet. He finds this whole talk of spirituality very overwhelming. I'd say he's a curious skeptic, but he is psychic. Most twin flames are. Throat is very blocked, heart is blocked, solar's blocked, sacral's blocked, roots blocked. So energetically, he's not in best shape. So we're just going to clear all of those and open them. And this guy probably has an addiction problem or abuses alcohol. He's got an addiction to something. There's a lot of blockages in the root chakra as a result of this. And I'd say almost a third of his aura is missing. So I'm just going to put that back. So this is for the benefit of everyone. If you're going to abuse any substances such as alcohol, drugs, even some prescription drugs such as opiate-based painkillers or anti-anxiety drugs, Valium, Advil, all that kind of stuff, you need to ground and protect a lot more frequently because these drugs interfere with your energetic well-being. And that's what we're seeing happening with Noah. Pardon me. Okay, so looking at the energetic connection between you, I see that you've met, you've consummated your relationship in terms of being physical, but there is very little progress in this part of the journey from the perspective of healing. You've got no, I mean, I'd say you probably hadn't met even that long ago, that you've been on this journey for a fairly short time, because this runner chaser stage is probably in its infancy for you guys, and there's not been much purging or healing taking place. There is no progress in the upper chakras, which is the heart upwards, which shows me you've done this healing work. So that's what you need to apply yourself to. And John is telling me that you're very resistant to this, and I need to remind you, you can't skip this part. And by resisting healing, you're actually delaying your own union. So a lot of twins ask me, how can I get into union faster? Why isn't it happening for me? And it's, usually it's because you've still got work to do. You've still got healing to do. And actually you decide when union happens because you do the healing work that takes you there. So in your case, Nicole, you've not begun on that journey. You need to create a disciplined daily meditation ritual, grounding and protection. You need to start digging out all of that suffering and those inner child wounds. So in terms of the connection between you and how the energy flows, I'm not saying that Noah is giving much energy to the connection. He wasn't aligned in this connection either. He was kind of static and sort of drifting a little bit out of the energy. But he's not giving any energy into this connection. He's not surrendering to it at all at the moment. So you're going to have to be really patient, understand that the divine feminine is the one that carries the torch. When you begin healing, this will bring him forward on the journey. And there is very little, even though there's energy going from you to him, it's not strong because you're okay, this is really important. So there's a lot of negativity with you as well. You're very angry with him. There's a lot of frustration. You need to release that because that's blocking the flow of energy. In terms of self-created thought forms here, which are negative thought forms which don't serve you, which you need to release, there is a deep self-loathing and feeling of not being good enough. And this is definitely mirrored in your twin. When you begin to heal this, it will trigger him to heal it too. That's why your mirrors, that's what happens. So I think the advice from the guides as well, one of your greatest needs in terms of healing is to learn patience, to learn endurance, to stick with something. You give up way too quick and you're very frustrated right now. That anger, that frustration, that bitterness that you're feeling that your twin's not there is reaching into your connection and blocking it. So energy doesn't lie. It doesn't matter what you say or how you behave. The energy inside of you and your true feelings will always come first in terms of the energy of your connection. And right now, you're being called to release frustration and to develop patience. This is a key life lesson for you as well, the patience thing, because you always give up too quick. You don't stick with things, and this is holding you back in all areas of your life. So this is why this is the first lesson that's being triggered in you with your twin, this need to learn patience. So I hope that helped. Right. Okay, let's have a look. So now is the time to say, please pick me. I need your twin's name and I need your name. Let's have a look, see. Who have we got? Oh, this is so hard. It's moving so fast. Okay, we'll do Bridget and Chet because Bridget gives so much. She gives so much to this community. Okay. Right, so Bridget, you're definitely dealing with your real twin here. Okay, so I'm just going to check your sovereignty and clear you both first. Bridget, you're sovereign. Chet is not. We'll deal with him in a minute. Okay, so Bridget, your grounding is deep and beautiful. It could go a little deeper, but it's good. When you take it deep, you need to just widen it a bit because you're missing the roots around the edges, but it's really good. So chakras. So we've got a beautiful clear crown chakra, huge third eye, beautifully clear. Minor blockage in the throat, just a residue of it. Heart chakra is clear. Solar plexus is clear and very powerful. Slight residue in the sacral. slight residue in the root. So energetically, you are in excellent health. There's a residue of anxiety there. This is doubt. This is just, I'm getting, this is anxiety born of loneliness and feeling like you're running out of time as well. And that, you know, it's about waiting and doubting the wait. So you need to clear that. Regard your aura, it's just beautiful and glowing, absolute natural light work, a clear channel. Aura's very robust and in good health. Let's have a look at Chet. So he's not sovereign, but I can clear him now. Whatever's there is not serious, so we can get on that ground. His grounding is only partial, so again, Bridget, when you ground yourself, you can ground Chet as well. It's there, but it's partial. It needs to be taken deeper, so we'll do that. Chakras, so his crown is clear, third eye is clear, blockage in the throat, blockage in the heart, clear solar plexus, clear sacral, very, very blocked root. And this is stuff related to his family, fears of rejection, fears of abandonment. And there's some kind of tire responsibility there, which is a huge drain on him. His aura is also not in the best shape. It's very red, which means, you know, he is clearing right now from this root chakra, but there is a huge, tremendous hole in it. I don't see any specific issues with substance abuse, which is usually what causes the holes. So let's just see if we can find out why that's there. Okay, so this has been there a very long time. And this is why he wasn't sovereign as well, because his aura is perforated. He's just letting kind of all sorts of nasty, negative stuff in. We've repaired that now, but when you ground and protect Bridget, you can do that for him too. This happened as a child. I believe this would have happened when he was younger. And this is from some kind of remote viewing or, yeah, just, you know, it might not have even been conscious remote viewing, but he somehow opened himself up, let something in, and it's eaten away at it. But he's sovereign and clear now. So looking at the connection between you. Wow. So you are very close to union. Runner chaser dynamic stage bit is complete. And if you're still finding that you're not, I mean, when that stage is complete, it doesn't necessarily mean union, but it just means that things settle down, communication stabilizes, but you have done a tremendous amount of healing work, but the gap is on his side. The gap is in his heart space. He's blocking that healing. He's resistant to healing. He's resistant to working on himself. There's a general lack of self-awareness with him. And he's not speaking his truth at all. So in terms of how the energy is flowing around the connection, your divine feminine light is on and it's glowing, which means you are in your power, you are embracing self-love, and you are sending pure, clear energy from him to him, immediately from source and from your crown, which is the correct way to do this. So he's not giving the same amount of energy back though. So there's definitely an imbalance in terms of the give and take here. And he is giving some energy, but it's a fraction of what you're giving, but it's coming back, and that's hopeful. And Amos is saying that he's finding his feet. There's a lot of machismo, there's a lot of alpha feeling about this guy. And, you know, it's harder to break his ego. He's just not ready. There's a deep resistance there, and it's rooted in these family issues that he's had. I'm also picking up, I don't know if this is anxiety or I'm guided to say chest pain, but it could be related to something with his esophagus here as well. I'll just clear that. And the self-created thought form here from you, Bridget, is what am I doing? And you just need to keep the faith and release the doubt, because you're so close with this journey. And we can dissolve that negative thought form as well. So I hope that helped. Right. So, it's weird having your eyes closed for so long. Let's have a look. Who's next? So remember, I need your twin's name and your name. I can't work without a twin's name. Billy Joe and Timmy. That was Moon Goddess. Billy Joe and Timmy. Let's have a look. Timmy isn't your real twin flame. No. He's a false twin. He's not a very nice one either. So I'm going to clear you anyway. So your grounding's partial, put that back in place. Every single one of your chakras is very, very blocked. And there's an indication of some kind of addiction here. Actually, I'm guided, this isn't a substance addiction. This is an addiction to codependency. This is an addiction to love, it's like a love virus. So I'm going to put Timmy in a protection bubble, which means that you've got to work through this in your own time, but it will stop his negative interference in your real twin flame connection. I'm going to put protection back around your twin flame connection as well. So I'm really sorry about that. He's not your twin. Benita and DeAndre. Okay, let's have a look. So DeAndre is definitely your twin. Neither of you is suffering. And this is an interference you're sharing. So this is something negative that's specifically attacking the both of you because of this connection, but we can clear it. So that's good, you're all sovereign now. So Benita, your grounding is partial, it needs to go deeper. So we'll do that now for you. Please remember to maintain that practice yourself. All the higher chakras are blocked all the way down to the sacral. The sacral still has a partial blockage, but it's not as severe. The root is very blocked. And I'm being guided to say this is just massive resistance from you. You're not embracing self. You're not engaging in the healing work. We had another lady a couple before you. It's like you want to skip this part of the journey. And the guides are reminding me to say to you that you can't do that. And that this journey is about you, not your twin. It's about self-love. When you step into that, you're going to feel much, much better. Your aura is in pretty good shape, though. Let's have a look. DeAndre. So he's got no grounding at all. There was a block there, so we're going to put that back. And this guy's very, very confused. I don't know if he actually has some kind of mental unwellness. I'm getting a lot of paranoia, a lot of confusion and a lot of doubt, but he's really questioning his own truth even. This guy's just not sure what's going on. There's a tremendous amount of confusion here. Much like you, Benita, his upper chakras are completely blocked, particularly his throat. Poor guy, he doesn't know if he's coming or going. I feel like he's just very confused right now. He should feel better after this clearing. Heart is very blocked, so all the way down. He's just blocked right all the way down to the root. So we just clear all those out, get them working smoothly. Okay, and this guy has a karmic attached as well, and he also has a false twin behind him. The karmic is at a distance, So this is a relationship that, even though it's probably ended and is, you know, somewhere in the fairly distant past, he still hasn't absorbed or processed or integrated the lessons from that connection. I'm guided that we can cut that cord, and I have permission from his higher self to do that. So the karmic's going to be cut, but the false twin I cannot cut. The false twin is very close to him, so this guy's probably dealing with this. He's probably still dealing with this person and really struggling to let them go. In fact, he's giving more energy to the false twin connection than he is this one. So I can put the false twin in a bubble, but I can't remove or cut that. That's something he has to resolve independently. In terms of the connecting energies between you, I'm seeing that you're fairly early in your journey. I don't even see that you've been physical with one another or physically intimate. There may have been something, but for me, that light's not lit up. And you've not begun that healing work. There's also a false twin on your side, Benita. And this is very close to you, but not quite as close as DeAndre. So I'm feeling like you may have already tried or succeeded in kind of moving away from this, but there are deep wounds there that remain from that connection that you still need to process, integrate. So when that pain comes, when you think of this guy and there's suffering, you need to sit with it. Don't squash it down. You need to sit with it and work through it. That's how you process it and do the lessons. Surprisingly, there is an equal amount of energy coming from both of you into the connection, but it's what I describe as fragile. It's not a significant amount of energy. Both of you at the moment feel very weak energetically, and I feel like with you, Benita, you're trying to send him love. You spend a lot of time trying to connect with him in 5D and meditation, but you're not giving yourself that love. And when you're sending him love, you're sending it from your own solar plexus, your power center, and this is draining you energetically, which weakens the impact of the energy you're sending him. So you need to learn to draw in source energy from your crown and then send it back out through your crown towards him. So it fills you up and then you can share it. You don't have to send it from the crown, you can send it from your heart or your solar plexus, but you need to draw in source energy, and that is the energy that you need to be sending him. And the self-created thought form is, I don't want this shit. I'm sure we can all relate to that, but you need to release that. We can dissolve that now, but if that comes up again, you need to trust that this journey is a gift and a blessing, and that once you do the work and you step into self-love, you will feel much better. I hope that was helpful. Oh, right. Another sup of my cold tea. Who's next? I can't see any of the feedback, by the way, because it's moving so fast. So guys, it'd be really lovely if you could email me and let me know what you think, or if you've got any questions. So remember, I need your twin's name and I need your name. Wow, it's moving so quick, I almost can't read it. Kristen and JJ. Okay, Kristen and JJ. This one's for you. Okay, let's have a look. JJ is not a real twin. I'm really sorry. I don't think he's in a false twin, because I don't see a false twin on your side. So this is just a toxic or codependent relationship. He's definitely not a twin. So I'm going to clear you anyway. So you've got no grounding. We'll put that back. Okay. So there's a lot of fear here, Kirsten, or Kristen. I'm so sorry. I think it was Kristen. And you're not sovereign. There is literally a clamp around your throat chakra. This will prevent you from articulating yourself properly. You probably feel like one of these people that is always just saying the wrong thing. You know, you think something, your thoughts are pure and honest and real and loving, but it never quite comes out right. And this is because of this interference around your throat. There's literally a blockage around your throat. It's not within your chakra, it's been placed there. So I'm going to clear that for you. Okay, so there's a reason that I've chosen you, or that John and Amos have chosen you, and it's because you've been very concerned about the voices you're hearing in your head, and you needed this reassurance. You are just a channel, okay? You're a beautiful, clear channel. You're a natural medium. When you're getting negative voices in your head, it's because of spiritual interference, and there is a hole in your aura. I'm going to seal that up now, but your crown and your third eye are wide open. All of the other chakras are being drained, so we're just going to clear those. So there was a lot of spiritual interference with you, which means these voices you're hearing would have sounded just like intrusive thoughts, very negative or very worrying. But that's because when you're a channel, you're picking up everything, good and bad. So please don't worry. You're not unwell. You're not schizophrenic. This is very natural and normal for someone with this psychic ability. What you need to learn to do is ground yourself and align within your channel. So I'm going to put protection back in place. Grounded. Chakra's all good now. Aura's all good. So I really hope that helps. I'm really sorry it's not your real twin. Okay, let's go. Your name, your twin's name. Who's next? Gemma and Jack. Okay, Gemma and Jack, you are next. So Gemma, this is definitely your real twin. I don't always talk about the physicality. When I tune into twins like this, I can see them physically. I'm not always accurate, but I'm going to say this because it's so distinctive. I'm getting this guy's ginger. He's got red hair and a lot of freckles. That may or may not be right, but that's what I'm seeing. Doesn't mean he's not your twin, by the way, if that's not how he looks. This is just what my guides show me. So I don't normally say it because I feel like if I get it wrong, it blows everything out the water. But that's what I'm seeing. So he is your twin. Neither are you a sovereign, so I'm just going to clear you first. Okay. Okay, Gemma, so you're clear now. There was a lot of dark interference there. If you felt very confused, fatigued, tired, and generally pissed off lately, this is why. Yeah, really quite serious attachment, but that's gone now. So grounding is all good. It can be taken deeper. I'm also seeing that your Kundalini is rising. I've never seen this before in someone. I've just seen it. I've asked my guys what it is, and they're saying that's what it is. Wow. Okay, so your chakras are actually not too bad considering these horrible attachments you had. The third eye is very blocked though, so we'll clear and open that. Crowns are open and clear. Throat's blocked, but heart, soul, sacral root are pretty good. And you've probably very recently experienced an awakening, very intense awakening, but that's kind of opened you up to more spiritual interference. It's made you more vulnerable. Now that's cleared, you should feel a lot better and clearer headed. And your aura is yellow. It's a beautiful, beautiful, bright yellow color, and it's light all the way through. So, you know, you are a powerful healer and light worker. It's definitely Kundalini rising. I can literally see the straight line all the way up. Now, in your inner etheric, I know I've not checked physical things for everybody, but my guides asked me to do this. You have a dark area around your left side of the chest that you need to get medically checked. My guide Uriel, who's an energy healer, is working on that now, but you need medical attention with that. So that's really important. Let's have a look at Jack. So Jack isn't grounded. We're going to put his grounding back. Wow. So, pardon me. I think I cleared at the same time as Jack then. His crown was very blocked, but when we opened it, it literally just exploded. Third eye's good. Throat's blocked. Heart is clear. Solar's clear. Sacral's partially blocked. Root's blocked. Substance abuse in the root. There's stickiness there, anxiety, depressive episodes. This is alcohol. He's the kind of guy that binge drinks hard at the weekend, and he can hold his drink, but he can hold it, but it's causing him to become energetically compromised. So you need to ground and protect for him if he's not able to do that himself. Yeah, he's got massive holes in his aura as a result of this drinking as well. So we just clear all that. And I'm being shown a shoulder injury with him, which is causing him a lot of problems. I don't know if this relates to his work. I don't know why they're showing me this, but there's like an injury on this shoulder. It might be an old injury that's not healed properly. And something around his right ankle as well. Okay, so the connection between you guys are kind of deep in this runner-chaser dynamic. And Gemma, you've kind of begun healing, but you need to dedicate and commit yourself to it more fully, because your progress is, the guides are saying it could be quicker, and that all this frustration you're feeling is unnecessary, because they want me to remind you that you are in control. You know what you need to do, but you don't commit to it. You don't do it every day. You're far too busy pleasing other people, and you've not got your priorities straight. I'm also seeing bills piling up for you and just not dealing with the practical matters in your life. In terms of how the energy is flowing between you, neither of you is actually giving a tremendous amount to this connection. So I don't know if that's because you're not focused on it, or okay. So no, it's blocked. It's blocked by frustration. It's blocked by, there's a lot of anger and conflict as well between you two. I feel like he's quite young and he's got a lot of growing up to do, and he's got a very sharp tongue. He says really spiteful things. This hurts you very deeply, triggers all of those old self-worth issues, and then you run as well. So actually, I feel like right now you're both kind of running at times, and you might be a bit more extreme in terms of you run and then you come rushing back. But this isn't a healthy dynamic between you right now. You need to take space back. You need to step back from him and stop chasing him. You need to stop running away from him as well. But you need to step into your own healing and really begin to take this journey seriously. But John said you're light and bright and you're a good girl. You're going to be okay. Okay, right. Whew. So who's next? Hit me with it. I need your name and I need your twin's name as well. Wow, it moves so fast. It's so hard to keep track. Can't even see. Alize and Carlos. Alize and Carlos, this one's for you. Okay. So Carlos is your twin. I'm going to clear and do all the sovereignty check, but the first thing that stands out about this guy is he's got two karmics. So let me ground you first and do all the mini clearings. So Alize, you have very shallow grounding. Taking it deeper, please learn how to ground and protect yourself. You can email me for information about that. So you're not sovereign, and there's a lot of interference here, and I'm picking up that this is from one of these karmics. This is from a third party. This is a human influence that's creating this energetic interference and blockage. It's not serious. We can clear it, but you need to make sure that you are diligent in your grounding and protection, because someone's really got it in for you and they're really trying very hard to create problems for you. They've done this by literally piercing and draining your chakras. So every single one of them is almost leaking energy, and your crown is actually clamped shut. So I'm going to open that for you. Get the others all cleared out and working. Okay, that's good. So there's a portal as well here, which is literally, that's put there by a third party to allow easy access, and that reaffirms to me that this is third party interference. So we're going to seal that up, double protect your aura so that you're nice and safe. Let's look at Carlos. So yeah, he's got 2 karmics. However, both of them are at a slight distance, and I feel like he's committing to no one right now. You know, this guy's really having his cake and eating it, but energetically, he's not in good shape. His grounding isn't there, so we're going to put that back. So he's not sovereign either, and he's being manipulated energetically also. There is a tremendous amount of interference from the heart upwards with the upper chakras. Let me just clear all those, get them working. And this guy also has addiction problems. And this is serious substance abuse. It may be historical, but the remnants or residue of it is still there. There's a lot of darkness in his roots. Definitely depressive episodes with this guy, and he's getting a lot of kind of aggression as well. Very, very angry. It's a very, very angry man. And the aura is just shot to pieces. So Alize, you need to be grounding and protecting this guy when you do this for yourself, because he's really not in good shape. I'm going to put the protection back around your connection anyway. One of these karmics I can cut. My guides and his higher self is saying that's good. The other one I need to leave. Now, when we cut cords with karmics, all of the lessons they needed to learn rush to the surface at once. It can be quite overwhelming. We never do that without the permission from the higher self. But if you are in communication with him, you might want to check this. He's going to feel fairly overwhelmed over the next few days. I'm also guided to clear his cerebellum, which is a higher chakra, which is at the back of the head. It's often known as the well of dreams. It deals with astral, dream state, all that kind of stuff. This should increase the 5D connection between you. That's been deliberately blocked along with his other higher chakras. So that's all clear now. So in terms of the connecting energies between you, it looks to me like you've not really been physical with this guy, or you may have had a little dabble, but there's very little progress in this connection in terms of healing and forward movement. So you really need to step into this journey now, because I'm seeing that you're very, very stuck, and you've not even started triggering properly. You're triggering, but you're not purging. There's a lot of resistance to this healing. But your heart is open. Your heart is open to him. And actually, you're already quite, you were probably quite spiritual before you came to this journey. Okay, so I'm going to put protection back around both of you. I do see a false twin on your side, Alize. It is at a slight distance, so you've probably moved on from this relationship, it would have looked very, very toxic, very codependent. And I'm picking up quite similar issues between Carlos and this false twin, particularly in terms of substance abuse. And I believe this false twin may have been quite a violent person as well, very explosive temper. Even looked a bit like Carlos. Okay. So we're all done with that one. I really hope that helped. Right. I'm going to have a little breather because this is really intense. So has anyone got any questions before I move on to the next one? So if you could just hold fire giving me your twins' names for a moment and hold fire with the pick-me's and give everyone a bit of space. If you've got any questions, just so I can keep my eyes open for a second and take a deep breath. Go on. What's the question, Tekla? Right, so grounding and protection. That's a fantastic question, Alize. Right, we'll do that together now. Okay, so you don't even have to close your eyes. You can do this anywhere you are, any time of day. If you want to make it part of your daily meditation ritual, do, but you can literally do it anywhere. So there's really no excuse for not doing it. When you're grounding, literally just visualize that you have roots growing from your feet and visualize or imagine them growing deeper and deeper through every layer of the Earth's crust until they touch light. When they touch light, they're at the Earth's center. Allow the roots to wrap around the center and then draw the light up. So you can imagine this light coming up through your roots, coming all the way up through your feet, up through your body, and then it bursts out of your crown and connects you to source. It goes all the way up through the sky, through the galaxies, and connects you to source. And then you put a bubble of protection around yourself. You just imagine that happening. It could be, whatever you want it to look like. Mine's just like a bubble, and then I seal it with gold or silver, anything metallic and firm that's going to deflect anything negative that's being sent towards you. Tekla, the guides are always good. They're like superhuman. They're ascended. They're not tired. It's just me. It is actually very tiring being a channel. When I do SRT work, I don't do more than 2 or 3 in any given day, and it's exhausting. That's why SRT is pretty draining. So April, no, I can review my own connection, but it's very hard to be objective. And this is why I'm very guided, to teach as many people as I can about this. I don't have a big reach. My channel's fairly new. I don't have that many subscribers yet. So I get a fair amount of work, just about as much as I can cope with. But this work that I'm doing, not only will I be teaching you guys to be able to do this for yourselves, certainly the healing elements of it, but also teaching other mediums to actually do this work and the SRT work. So there are more of us. As my channel grows in popularity, there is just no way that I will be able to service everybody. So I've already got 2 colleagues that I work with. We practice and train together. I'm sure they're going to be open for business with these services soon as well. And, I will be looking for, I'm waiting for the right time to share this, to develop a fixed protocol that I can teach others. And most twins are natural light workers. You're all very psychic, but for those of you that are have a channel, and I can see very easily when you have this, I can look at it energetically. Those are the people that need to be doing this work, and the more people doing this work, the better. It's not about me keeping a secret and keeping it to myself and making money off it. I was very guided that this isn't about profiteering. Spirit release therapy is so important to this community because as light workers, we're more vulnerable. We attract more dark stuff. Incidentally, if you're a channel, you do have an extra layer of protection when you're open and channeling because, that channel surrounds you and anything that's coming towards it and touches it is just transmuted to light. It's not your light, it's divine light. So if you are practicing mediumship, keep your eyes peeled on my channel because as soon as we're ready to, start setting up teaching groups, we will do. We're still in a research phase at the moment. We're learning so much all the time. So I don't feel quite ready to do that yet. But, this is coming to you all. I'll be doing guided audio meditations, which will help you do this for yourself, at least heal the connection between you and send energy between you and how to do that appropriately. But I will also be teaching you guys to do it independently. But as I said, because I can't check my own connection objectively, I get my colleagues to do that. So the more of us can do this work, the more we can support one another and support the collective. Right, so I've been at this for a full hour, so I'm going to do about another 30 minutes. Let's see, so hit me with it. Your name, your twin's name. Who's next? Wow, it goes so fast. It's so fast. Chris and Jess. Chris and Jess. So, Chris, I mean, I can't see the comments now. I don't know if you're a man or a woman, but I'm guessing that this is a same-sex connection because we've got Chris as the divine feminine on the left. Jess as the divine masculine. Please confirm in the comments. I really need to know if I'm right about that. So we've got Chris as you are twins, obviously. I just want to seeing you. So let me clear you first. So there is some grounding here on Chris's side, but it's very shallow and it's not robust enough. So we're going to take that deeper. Clear the chakras. Getting a lot of pain in your heart space. There's a lot of regret, grief. This is grief. I don't know if you've lost someone recently or if you're literally mourning your own twin, but this is very heavy grief I'm picking up in the heart space. Solar plexus is good. Sacral's very blocked, so we've got a lot of insecurity here around sexuality and sexual contact. The root chakra is also very blocked, so a lot of anxiety, depression. I'm picking up ME as well, or some kind of condition which is probably psychological but affects you physically. And the aura is intact, but it's weak, and there's a lot of dark energy within it. Once we've cleared it, you've got this beautiful purple glow in your aura. You're very naturally clairvoyant. Your third eye is very strong. Yeah, you look much better now. Let's have a look at Jess. I'm going to describe Jess. As I say, I don't do this on all of them, but I'm getting a short dark hair kind of to just below the shoulder. Very petite. She also has no grounding, so we're going to put that back. And I feel like this girl is also struggling with her mental health. All of her higher chakras are completely blocked, particularly her heart. There's a severe blockage in her sacral chakra, which I believe links back to historical abuse of a sexual nature. So this would go back to childhood. A lot of depression and anxiety related to this. There's a lot of stuff that hasn't been released here. And she comforts with substance abuse because there's a very clogged root here. I think alcohol's a problem. Prescription drugs even. I feel like this girl. What's that? Okay. But her aura is green. Now we've cleared away all the darkness. She is green. She's got beautiful, beautiful natural healing ability. She's actually a very gentle soul, but at the moment she would come across as aggressive, obnoxious, angry, defensive, all of this. It's almost like she's spitting poison. She's so angry. But this isn't her true self. This is pain and suffering that she's carrying. And her aura is shot to pieces, so I'm going to put that back. So again, grounding and protection is really important for you too. For both of you. So in terms of where you're at in your connection, I'm just getting some clarification on what this means because I've not been shown something like this before. Okay, this is really unusual. So basically, I'm being shown this very on-off, and it's almost like you make fantastic progress, and then something explosive happens, and it takes you back to the beginning. Because what I'm being saying is the healing's done. No, it's not. Yeah, it's done. No, it's not. It's done. No, it's not. And it's kind of like you almost undo all this hard work by slipping into bad habits, slipping back into this old programming. And my guides are saying it's because you're not reinforcing those practices significantly enough. You get really into it, and then you take your eye off the ball and let it fall by the wayside, and you fall back into old patterns and habits. So that's just, you need to stay focused on the journey. In terms of the energy being sent between you, there's very little. I feel like at the moment this is very much about self-preservation. I think you're both in a fairly bad place and that you need to concentrate on yourself, and that's probably the right thing for you. We can get some energy moving around that connection. This will help balance you. You know, when one twin is really not in good health, the others, you know, your mirrors. So getting energy moving back around that connection will feel better as well. But protection around it. You've both got a karmic. And there's also a false twin on Chris's side. The karmic's not even that far away. But it's a very weak cord. So we can cut that. We can cut that. Chris, when I cut that cord, you're going to feel quite emotional for the next couple of days. Just sit with that emotion. Don't try and distract yourself from it. Just allow it and allow yourself to process the thoughts, the emotions, the knowing that comes through. This is how you receive the upgrade and you integrate that new learning. The false twin. Oh, nice. I'm going to put them in a bubble of protection. I can't cut them away, but I can protect you from them. The karmic on Jess's side. Some really angry person. Very manipulative, bordering sociopathic, control freak. We can't cut that one though. No permission from higher self. Guides are saying not to do it. That learning needs to be processed. It needs to be completed, that karma. And that serves both of you, for that karma to be processed and released in its own time. It's about divine timing. You've got to be patient. But there's so much stop-start with your journey, and you need to start and stick with it because you're wasting so much time. It's literally like you're at the start line, you're running towards healing. Or sorry, running is the wrong word because the run and chase time. You're basically moving towards healing, making progress. It's almost like you turn around and run back. So you need to stay focused. Right. Okay. Right, so let's have a look. Who's next? So I need your name and your twin's name. Becky and Ben. Becky and Ben, you're next. So let's have a look. This isn't your real twin. Ben isn't your twin. He's a false twin. So if you've got a false twin, Becky, this means that you're going to meet your real twin. So in many respects, it's a huge advantage to know about this concept ahead of meeting your real twin. You know, it gives you a chance to be prepared to start healing. Energetically, you're not in bad shape. I'm going to clear you anyway and put protection back around your twin connection. You have got a karmic to deal with as well. I'm guided not to cut that cord. Your twin flame, even though you've not met him yet, This is really weird. I've never noticed this before. Your twin flame, even though you've not met him, has also got a karmic. He may be married or in quite a significant relationship. So, you don't want to meet this guy anytime soon. You need to spend this time focusing on self, healing self. You're deeply spiritual and you've always been drawn to these kind of things. So it really serves you to have had this false twin and got this information today. Because by the time your real twin arrives, you're going to be ready. In terms of your clearing, your grounding has been put back in place. It wasn't actually that bad. Okay, so your chakras, they're all open and working, but they've all got like a tiny bit of residue in, and I'm feeling like this is it's doubt. It's doubt. The self-created thought form here is, no, not me. You're someone that believes in spirituality, you believe in psychics, you seek out their support, but you don't believe that you can be. But you are a very psychic and very gifted person in terms of your psychic ability. Your aura is in great shape. It's very pink, which is a really beautifully divine and healing colour. And you've got a lot of light in your inner etheric. It's very clear and lovely. The only thing I am picking up on is it might actually just be a very sore throat, but this isn't in your chakra, this is behind your chakra in your inner etheric. There's some dark energy there, some stagnant energy. And also around your lower back, where your spine meets your pelvis, there is a lot of tension and aching and pain here, but this is from your lifestyle choices. You need to stretch, you need to move more. If you're on a job where you're sitting down all day, this is really going to do you in. And John is saying to me, if you came for any bit of information today, this bit is the most useful, because you've already got a weakness in your pelvis. If you don't focus on your posture and stretching and maintaining strength in your back and your abdomen, so doing the plank will really help with this, you're going to have problems later in life. So, right, I hope that helped. Let's have a look. We got... Wow, it's going so fast. I can hardly read it. Guy and Nancy. Okay, Guy and Nancy. Weirdly, I've just looked at my phone as well, and there's a message saying, do Guy and Nancy. So weird. Right, okay. All right, Guy and Nancy. Wow. This is definitely your twin, but I have never seen this before. If my colleagues that are watching that will understand how crazy this is. So Guy's starting on the divine feminine side, but you keep switching. You keep switching. I feel like both of you have a perfect balance of divine masculine and feminine energies. This is very unusual. I've never seen this. Absolutely fascinating. You're just kind of going, whoop, whoop. So this is, you are twins. I don't know who's who, because you keep moving. Okay, so Guy's stabilized on the left, which is the divine feminine energy. I don't know if it's going to switch again, but for now you're there, which is helpful. You're just standing still so I can clear you. So let's go. So there's actually quite good grounding on your side, and your chakras are actually in really good shape. Only one that is blocked is the heart space and the root. All the others are open and working beautifully. But there's something you're holding on to that you're refusing to dig out. You don't want to confront it, and you need to let it go. John's saying, you know what it is. I don't need to say it to you. You know what it is. It's also quite personal, so I don't want to say it on a live stream. But he's saying, you know what it is. You need to dig it out. And you have got this karmic attached as well. I don't see that you're still in that relationship, but you're still giving energy to it because of this cord. and this attachment, and you need to let that person go. I know you're trying to be nice and just trying to be civil and everything, but sometimes you just got to burn bridges, and this is one of them. I'm guiding not to cut it because it's an important lesson for you to learn to do that. You're not very good at giving up on people, and you need to learn that it doesn't make you a bad person to do that. It's not selfish to put yourself first. That's what this journey teaches us in terms of self-love. And your aura is beautiful, and you are a clear, beautiful channel of light. Absolutely lovely. So let's look at Nancy. Okay, so she's got partial grounding. It's not too bad. Wow. So apart from her crown and third eye, all of her chakras from the throat down, very, very blocked. And she literally almost convulsed when I cleared those. She's very, very resistant, very stubborn woman, very resistant to healing. And I'm seeing this very masculine energy. She's a very headstrong lady. I wouldn't be surprised if she was Aries. So she's got a lot of, she had to grow up young. She missed out on some of her childhood because she had to learn how to be responsible from a very young age. And the resistance is because I'm okay. She's saying, I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm fine the way I am. You should accept me the way I am. She's almost offended that you would suggest she needs healing. Aura's not in the best shape. I'm going to put that back as well. She is actually a natural healer, but right now she needs to heal self first. Until she learns to heal self, she won't be able to heal anyone else. And actually, she comes across as quite abrasive. This is because she's carrying a lot of masculine energy, but also because of this just sheer determination not to break. I feel like she's had to cope so much and be so strong that she doesn't know how to be vulnerable. So in terms of the connection between you, oh, Guy, you've done so much work. I do feel like your runner chaser stage is coming to its natural end. As I said before, this doesn't necessarily mean you're going to rush towards union, but it does mean that usually communication stabilizes somewhat during this stage, and you can just, all take a big deep breath. And certainly, Guy, moving into that surrender and acceptance stage, there's a great deal of work you've done in that heart space, but there's more to go. And there's more to dig out that's going to help you move forward. Don't put it off any longer. You can't do her bit, unfortunately. Don't get frustrated with her, but she will come round to it. She's just taking a bit longer to break the ego, for want of a better word. And she is sending energy to the connection. It is moving around in both directions. And Guy, your light is kind of staying on. So this is the light of self-love, if you would. It should be activated and glowing at all times, but it's just kind of flickering like a light bulb that's got faulty wiring. There's still some work for you to do there so that you can really step into your power. And Amos is cautioning you that don't judge. You get very frustrated and you can be very sharp-tongued when you do. And this just sets things back. You need to be very patient, very passive, and very calm with Nancy, and give her the space to do this healing work. You can't fix her. At the moment, the intensity of your support is actually overwhelming her and making her more resistant. It's not helping. So you need to step back and focus on self. Wow. Okay. Right, so who's next? What time is it? Okay. Pardon me. Right, let's look. Viara and Michael. Okay, let's have a look. So, So yes, you're dealing with a real twin flame connection. However, even, I would really like you to verify this in the comments or email me, because I've not seen this before. So, what does this mean? I feel like you two have been in a relationship or already are, because you're like, but you're not on the twin flame journey. It's like you're just stuck in this toxic, codependent mess in the middle. You're not where you're supposed to be in your own space, working on your own self-love. I feel like it's so intense between you that you can't see the wood for the trees. You can't work on yourselves as individuals. So I'm going to create that space for you. Doesn't mean that anything bad's going to happen or that you're going to separate or anything. But, you know, you need to be in your own space. You're really weird. Never seen that before. Okay, so I'm going to ground you both. Okay. Right, so I'm really sorry. There's a lot of, neither of you are suffering, but the divine feminine side, there's significant negative attachments that I can't clear right now. So I'm going to have to park this one for you, and suggest that you do need a full SRT check. Yeah, you need that. I'm going to have to park that one. I'm really sorry. I can't proceed if there's clearing that needs to be done. Okay, Letitia and Michael. Two in a row. I can't do you either. I'm really sorry. I'm actually blocked from even looking at yours. So you definitely need a proper clearing. There's a lot of interference there. I'm really sorry. Okay. Sonakshi and Gaurav, you're next. Okay, so this is a twin flame connection. And the vision I'm being presented here is really lovely because you're both really smiling. I feel like you've both got very light, very happy souls. Sonakshi, I'm going to clear you first. You have no grounding at all, so I'm going to put that back in place. Your chakras are, crown is beautifully open, third eye is beautifully open. And you're in pretty good shape. There's something going on here. Sorry, let me just look. Okay, so this is a self-created blockage. Just trying to establish what it is because it's quite unusual. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't third-party interference. But actually, it's like you've almost prevented yourself from speaking the truth with fear. And I feel like this fear relates to how everyone else around you will react. So you just stay quiet, you keep your secrets, you don't tell a soul. But you need to let it go. You need to be your authentic self. But all of your chakras by the root, which even then only has a minor blockage, are in very good health. Your aura is great as well. You've got a lot of yellow and pink in there, which are really beautiful, divine, healing colours. So look at your twin. This is so unusual. Okay, so your twin's got a karmic, but there's no cord. And I don't normally see karmics without a cord. And you've got a false twin behind you. So this is someone that you would have, I don't think you even had a relationship with them, but, you know, admired them from afar quite obsessively. But for this karmic with your, I'm sorry to say, but I think this is a relationship he's yet to have. And that cord just hasn't formed yet. So, I mean, we can't cut anything because there's not one. It may not form. Let me just get some code. So that'll be up to him. It's like I'm getting really strongly that he's been presented with a marriage proposal or opportunity to date someone or get together with someone, and he's in the balance making his decision about it. He's not sure. Really unusual. We're going to his grounding. We're just going to put that back because it wasn't there. His chakras are pretty good, but blocked from the heart down, particularly in the root. This man has a lot of control issues as well. And this comes from having a very narcissistic, quite domineering mother, you know, that's, you know, he really feels this powerful need to be in control, to be the man. But actually he's a bit of a pussycat inside, but it comes across, he's not found a good balance with his masculinity. He doesn't understand that being assertive doesn't have to look aggressive. So I'm just going to put his protection back around his aura as well because it's not great. I'm guided this was from an operation he had where he's had a general anaesthetic. This has made him vulnerable to spiritual interference. So the connecting energies between you is that you're at the early part of your journey. I don't see that you've been physically intimate with one another. And the runner-chaser dynamic has kind of begun. He is not sending any energy into the connection at all. He's kind of acknowledging the truth. He's not integrating it. He thinks about you all the time. There are definitely a lot of syncs, this guy, because he has a very clear channel to spirit. I feel like he is very spiritual. He even prays regularly. He's, you know, he's quite spiritual, but this concept is beyond his understanding or knowledge. He's trying to not to be too romantic about it. He's trying to be practical. And there's an issue with families here as well. It's a bit Romeo and Juliet, you know, the family's not kind of seeing eye to eye. So actually you need to just focus on yourself. You've actually made more progress in the heart space than I would expect to see given how far you are into your journey. You know, both deep down very gentle, happy souls. And I feel like you've had a fairly balanced and quite nice childhood, which is, you know, there's not quite as much healing to do. He's got a lot more than you and he's not doing it. In terms of blockages, to be honest with you, none that I see you can deal with. These are his issues right now, and he needs to come to some understanding in his mind about what he truly wants. And he's, as I said, I feel like he's downloaded that truth, but he hasn't integrated it. So put the protection back around you. I really hope that helped. Right, guys, I'm absolutely exhausted. So that's going to be my last one. I don't know what time it is. It is actually 12:30. Now, before you all go, I just want to say that if you've got questions about what I've just said to you, if you've just had a reading, When you email me about it, please give me the timestamp for the bit where I did your reading, and chances are I won't remember anything. I can ask my guides again, but when I'm doing this work, it's, 10 minutes later, it's gone. I can't remember the first person I cleared. I couldn't really tell you what's happened. I'll have to watch this back myself. So it's very hard for me to answer questions retrospectively. This is why when I do these checks, I do it live, face to face, so you can ask me questions in the moment and there's not this back and forward. So remember, there is a special offer for you guys that are watching. If you would like to take advantage of that, it's $30 rather than $40 until the 12th of May. Just drop me an email and mention that you've watched this. I'm not going to make this video public. It will be a private web link. So if you would like to watch it again, drop me an email and I will send you a link. Because I don't show my face on my channel, mainly because I don't want my twin to see. And he might know by now. If you watched my last video, you know that, but he might not. And, been a massive pussy, aren't I? Anyway, that's a different topic. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much to my moderators for helping out. Hopefully it was easy enough to keep it clean and we didn't get too many dicks joining us. It's been really lovely, guys. I will definitely do another one of these soon. I really hope it helped. Again, if you've got any questions, I'm always very happy to hear from you. So thank you for tuning in. Take care. I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.